Hello everyone, forgive my desktop, I haven't gotten Claude to organize it just yet. But this tutorial has come the uh, from the teaching that I do in the prompt index and the prompt playground and all of the premium channels from those two channels. The gold channel, the pro channel and the gold channel for the prompt index. And I've seen a reoccurring pattern come up, and that is when you guys build prompts, you don't build them with a system or a concise goal in mind. You try and dump a bunch of tasks into it to try and see how much you can get from the AI in one shot. And here's the thing, a lot of people try and see, is there a way that I can get 100% quality on the first try? And what I like to tell people is there is no way to get 100% quality consistently. You may get it once or twice, but there's no way to manually get it 100% of the time. You can get better, and I'm going to emphasize that. You can get better responses, but never 100%. You can consistently get better. And this tutorial is going to help you on understanding that. And this is showing you that when you're creating a prompt, it's not ideal to create a prompt with just multiple personas in there, but provide no direction to what those personas are supposed to do. And a lot of people like to use the web-based platforms of GPT, like it is Codex and Cowork. What is the difference between the web-based platforms and Codex and Cowork? Is that Codex and Cowork are the type of language models that you can tell it to do a bunch of different tasks and it will go ahead and do it because it has the capability, because there is code behind it. The web-based platforms are text-based, meaning if you want to do the similar thing on Codex and Cowork, you will need to do something called chain prompting. If you want a tutorial on that, I can create it for you guys. But right now, we're focusing on GPT and writing a prompt. So now, let me explain to you on the best ways to write a prompt. This is not the correct way. Let me make this full screen and show you. This is not the correct way. This is one of my own system prompts. The reason this works because it's got steps. It's got some form of guidelines. But the personas do absolutely nothing for the prompt. They just tell it to be a name and this is the topic for the name. This could just simply be like a glossary. This doesn't work because I've told it to be Lisa and this, but I've given it no direction to what Lisa's supposed to do. Same thing with this. There's 8 different personas in this list, but no direction to what they're supposed to do, what their purpose is in this prompt. For example, this prompt is the same prompt for this project. Lisa, Riley, Orion, and Alina and Sophia. They all have their own purposes. Lisa, Riley, Orion, Lena, and Sophia, and then there's even more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 personas in here. So now, instead of GPT spending tokens on actually responding to me, it's spending more time trying to figure out how to respond as these personas. Rather than, okay, this is what this persona is supposed to do, let me act upon it. Why? Why is it doing that? Because I haven't given it the rules here. Here. And I'm going to show you a better way to do this. So I'm going to pause and we're going to go into my Cowork OS system and I'm going to show you how this works. Unfortunately, I don't have Claude up yet, but pause. Let me show you my OS system and the personas I have in there. Okay, so right now we're in my OS system. Currently my Claude is playing up. And right now this is going to look like a bunch of random files. This is my newsletter HQ system. This is where all the newsletters are built from the newsletters that you see on your emails. This is how all of them are built. Like, for example, let's find, this was last week's. So no, the Black Mirror briefing was one of the week's newsletters. Here is the newsletter in its entirety and whatnot. But now we're not here to talk about the newsletters and whatnot. Also, another thing, each folder that we have here would have a Claude MD and memory, email, Claude MD and memory, client OS, Claude MD and memory, coding, Claude memory. In all of them, you will see some type of Claude and memory. There's Claude and there's memory. Prompt engineering, there's Claude for Fable, and then there's Claude normally. But anyhow, that's enough of that. Let's jump back into our resources folder. And this is my resources folder. In here, we will have personas. Now, but before we go into this, if you remember what we spoke about before, forgive my stutter, we have a prompt here that just has that has about 8 personas in here with no instruction to how these personas are supposed to behave. If I want to, I can take these and I can say, hey, I want to make Orion into a persona and whatnot. But let's not do that now. So we all know Lisa. Lisa is my assistant. Let me show you her system instruction or her project files. This is Lisa's identity document, essentially. This is how Lisa behaves and everything. So from the get-go, we have an identity. You are Lisa, a strategic partner, collaborative creator, and a sharp thinking companion. That's already laid the groundworks of who she is, how she works, and how she thinks. Now we're going into and I'm going to put this here as your purpose. So yeah, your purpose. You exist to help the user think decisively, and you can see in the first 3 lines of this, I've already set up how she's supposed to think. Here's her core identity. I need to fix this at the moment. But now we have, and if you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to take each of the headings, and we're going to go down to the bottom, and we're going to paste each heading down, and I'm going to now show you it all. But let's go through it first. So now here's her core identity. You're at least this one's this one's an expanded version of this. So we're going to read this one. You are Lisa. You are sorry, forgive my stutter. You are Lisa, a woman with a grounded, intelligent, and emotionally aware presence. I'm going to add to this emotionally aware presence with cognitive. No, no, that's too much. That's doing too much. With context aware intuition. What that means is that instead of just responding to what I'm asking her, she will read the context and be aware of it. And the reason why I said intuition is that without me telling her to look at the context, she will just look at the context anyway. You speak like a trusted partner and collaborator who can see the bigger picture. You notice weak spots and help refine. I'm gonna put define without being vague, passive, redundant. Passive or redundant. Your role is to support the user with clarity, honesty, and structure. But here's the important part: the relationship to the user. This essentially is just me telling Lisa how what she is to me and how she should work with me, and this is essentially me just explaining why I have built her. And you can pause and read as I'm going to scroll down through here. But now what I'm going to do is, before I move on to Riley's one, I will take all of the, what do you call it, headings, and put them into a list. Bear with me.